Everyone wants practical, right? Everyone wants relevant. It seems to be a very popular thrust today. We have practical messages. We have a relevant message, implying that the gospel is impractical and irrelevant. Well, hope is never impractical. You'll never be hindered because you hoped. You'll never be disadvantaged because you hoped. But hope, or thoughts of heaven, teaching about heaven, exhortation about heaven, encouragement about heaven, is often received and thought of. It's labeled impractical. And this is nothing less than just a lie about hope. Hope is never useless. It's never dysfunctional. You will never find yourself living for the Lord in a position where you need to lay hope down on the table to deal with something else. Right. You'll never find yourself at a place where you need to lay hope aside so that you can be effective. You become ineffective when you lay hope aside, and you become dysfunctional when you put hope on the table. That's right. Hope is never dysfunctional. Hope is applicable whether you're walking in the light or whether you're walking in the dark. I mean, as far as experience goes, whether you're on the mountaintop and you can see a long ways off, or you're in the valley and all you can see is temptation and evil, hope is functional in all of those experiences. I can't think of any condition or any situation that the Lord would lead you that you don't need hope. So here's the exhortation: partake of the hope. It's a rather simple exhortation, but I want to give you some reasons to partake of the hope. If you don't partake of the hope, you're going to become one of those statistics that falls off the side of the road and dies on the wayside. If you don't partake of the road's just simply too long to not partake of the hope. The experience of following the Lord and of living by faith, it's too demanding to not partake of the hope. Everyone knows that there's a required discipline and rigor and training in order to accomplish anything in the world, whether it be a physical accomplishment, a business accomplishment, academic accomplishment, athletic, whatever it is. In order to produce something that is valuable, there's got to be an investment. There's got to be resources behind. There will always be resources behind the production of whatever product or whatever fruit, whatever accomplishment is desired. There's got to be resources behind it, and there's got to be the resource of hope behind your soul in order to be faithful unto the end. So partake of the hope. The ways we partake of the hope is looking at the hope, is listening to the hope. That's what the Colossians had done. They'd heard of the hope laid up for, and in ways, this is something that you only say to those that are within. This is a pearl that we don't cast out. But hope talks to you. Yeah. Hope will actually counsel your soul if you can hear it. Again, this is not something you don't go talk to drunks on Main Street with this kind of stuff. But hope will talk to you. Amen. You've got to listen to hope. Hope can reason with you. Hope can motivate you. Hope can straighten out your thinking. Hope it'll actually communicate to you if you're sensitive. So partake of the hope. Taste of the hope. Think about the hope. Partaking of the hope actually makes you your best. Hope is it sounds strange. It seems strange to even say this, but people have talked about hope in such a way as if hope was a disadvantage. We don't want to talk. We want to be practical about today, here and now, and today, and things that are real, as if hope's not real, as if heaven doesn't have anything to do with us now. Well, if heaven doesn't have anything to do with you now, you're not going to have anything to do with it then. That's kind of the way it works. We are citizens of heaven, right? And our names are written in heaven. Partaking of the hope makes you your best. That you serve God the best when your hope is strong. You serve the body. You're the best minister to the body when your hope is strong. You are the best employee, are you not, when your hope is strong?
Yeah.
You are the best student. You're the best spouse when your hope is strong. You are the best, young ones, you're the best child when your hope is strong. Hope is very practical.
Praise God.
Hope isn't going to stay out of your employment. And just, just keep itself to Sunday and Wednesday. No, hope's going to make you a different employee. Hope won't let you be slothful, even if your boss is harsh. Hope won't let you be slothful. Hope makes you strong because hope is an anchor. Hope makes you pure because Jesus is pure. How practical is that? Is that irrelevant? Hope protects you because hope is a helmet. When you feel faint, partake of the hope. That's the resolution. When you feel faint, partake of the hope. When you feel the heat of the battle, then you go partake of the hope. When you're tempted, you go partake of the hope. See, the mind of the flesh doesn't think like this. I'm tempted, so I'm going to hope. But your spirit will think about this. It will think like this. When I'm tempted, partake of the hope. And hope diffuses the temptation. Partaking of the hope can be your way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. When it's hard to run the race, then partake of the hope. When things look impossible, i.e. Abraham, partake of the hope. When you're weeping, partake of the hope. When the Lord's just given you a season to bear of sorrow and anguish, which the Lord does, then that's the time to partake of a hope. There isn't any time that you can say, I don't need hope at this time, or my hope is sufficient. It's always to your advantage to hear the hope, to partake of the hope, to look at the hope, to listen to the hope. It always is. Whatever it is, whatever season that you're in, whatever section of the road that you're on that road that leads to life, whatever the weather is like, hope sanctifies it. Hope will sanctify the day. Hope will sanctify the moment. Hope will sanctify the opportunity. Hope is always practical, and hope is always relevant. So the exhortation is to look at the hope. Go partake of the hope, and whether it's just edifying to think there's nothing that hope won't sanctify as you're walking with the Lord. So that's my exhortation to you, and how we